Hello everyone in the multiverse and beyond. This is your friend forever, Evan Lefavor, with a brand new video. Today, we're going to be discussing an important topic: how Jesus Christ was conceived and how I met Jesus Christ's mother. Okay? Now, the first thing you have to understand is I am the biological father of Jesus Christ. And if you're wondering how someone born in 1983 can be the father of someone who was born almost 2,000 years ago, it's pretty simple for me to answer. Because you have to understand that the year 2014, we perceive it as the present moment, because that's where we are in this point in time in history. Okay? And the truth is, we are now living in the past. The year 2014 is the past. Okay? And that the future stemming from this point already exists. Okay? We are just in the past, in the year 2014. But in the future, time travel technology has been achieved by the human race. That we can literally use technology to travel through space and time and arrive at a point in time in the past and visit Earth in the past. Okay, these time machines, they're not like the movie Back to the Future where you actually go to Earth to time travel. Okay, these time machines are spaceships in outer space. They can travel not only through time, but through space as well. So whenever we time travel from the future back to planet Earth in the past, we always do all the time traveling in outer space, and then we travel physically to the Earth. Okay? And we do that because the Earth is always changing where it is. So you can't just time travel to the past while you're on Earth, because then without moving physically, you might end up coming into, being manifested inside the Earth, because it's moved. Okay, like I said, you do all your time traveling in outer space, and then you come to Earth. And that's how we do it in the future. So in this alternate future, I used time travel technology. In the future, I used time travel technology to achieve a lot of different goals. Okay? And it wasn't really utilized to go into the past to affect life on Earth directly. But I decided, seeing as we have time travel technology at our disposal, why not use it to save the person that matters most? Okay? And in my eyes, at the time, the person that mattered most to me was my son, Jesus Christ. Okay? It was the most important thing on my agenda to use time machines to time travel back in time and prevent Jesus Christ from being murdered on the cross. It was my idea, it was my plan, and it was something I was very passionate about. Okay? And I still am passionate about doing that. And what happened is I used time travel technology to time travel back into the past to look for Jesus Christ so that I could save him and prevent him from being murdered on the cross. So essentially what happened was I time traveled back in time. The problem is we don't have an exact date in history that Jesus Christ was alive and when he was murdered. We don't have an exact date of when that stuff happened. Okay? So it's not like I could just program the time machine to go to the exact day Jesus Christ was being crucified or the day before and save him. Okay? There was a lot of guesswork involved. Okay? And when I time traveled into the past, I was able to scan the planet Earth looking for Jesus Christ. Okay? And I could not find him. Alright? And I looked into the future. From that point on, there was no Jesus Christ. I looked into the past from that point on. There was no Jesus Christ. Because when you time travel into the past, your time machine can look into the future and past on planet Earth. Okay? And in the past, I was searching for Jesus Christ and could not find him. But who I did find was Jesus Christ's mother. Okay? I found Jesus Christ's mother. And I looked into her future, and she was destined to be murdered. Okay? As a matter of fact, it was only a few days after I got there that she was to be murdered. Okay? Because she was kind of a radical thinker. She wasn't a submissive, she wasn't a submissive woman to the extent where she would just, let people get away with stuff that's wrong. Okay? She was a radical thinker. She wanted to change the world. In her heart of hearts, she wanted to change the world. And I couldn't let her be murdered. Okay, as soon as I found out that was going to happen, as soon as I saw her for the first time, I knew it was her. Okay? There was no getting around it. This was Jesus Christ's mother. Okay? And she was going to be murdered because she was a radical thinker and stood up for what was right. So I decided to set foot on Earth, and I was going to meet up with her, and bring her to the spaceship and take her off the planet before she was murdered. And so I did this. And when we first met each other, it was kind of love at first sight. And because her and I share a lot in common, she was praying. For years, her whole life, she was praying to be able to change the world. She wanted to change the world, and she wanted to be a part of changing the world. That was in her deepest prayers. her entire life. That was her passion. Okay? And that is my passion as well. I want to make it a better world for everyone alive as well. So her and I, we really hit it off. Okay? Now, before I landed, you have to understand, I had what is known as a halo. And this is advanced technology from the future. And it basically, you can download information directly into your brain from the halo. And you can learn things just by requesting the knowledge. Okay, because each spaceship time machine has an artificial intelligence on board that you can communicate to through your halo. Okay, so I used this halo technology to learn the language and learn the languages that I needed to know to communicate with her. Okay, so I found her and I came up with the right moment in time to meet up with her. And it wasn't easy being a white guy trying to blend in that area at that time. But I was able to convince her to follow me to the spaceship. Okay, and we took off from planet Earth. And this is my first time hanging out with her. And I was, I wanted to get to know more about her. But she was amazed at what I was showing her. So the primary focus when we first met was her trying to understand everything she was seeing. You gotta understand, someone of her time had never seen any technology before. They'd never seen a car, they'd never seen an airplane, they'd never seen a boat. They've seen boats, but like a submarine. And they've never seen stuff that looks like a spaceship. Okay? And the thing is, she was really amazed. She thought it was magic. She thought the technology that she was seeing aboard my spaceship was magic. Because I could talk to the computer, my AI. You can just talk to the AI and it can provide you with anything you want. Okay? And to her it was almost like I had a genie that was making my every wish come true. Okay? And so I spent some time with her and I explained to her about the future, where I came from. And I told her about the kingdom of heaven, about eternal life, and paradise in outer space. And then I started to tell her about her destiny. And when I started to tell her that her and I were destined to meet, that we were destined to conceive a son together, and that our son would go on to change the world forever. And she wanted to believe me, but she was a little offended by that because she is a virgin and she thought I was hitting on her more or less. And I told her, hey, I'm a virgin too, because I am a virgin and I was a virgin in this alternate future. I was still a virgin. And I told her, no, we don't even need to have sex to conceive our son. That we could use the technology aboard the ship to conceive our son. And that was true. Because you have to understand, this technology on this spaceship time machine that I was on from the future, it has the power of a god. Through advanced nanotechnology, through a machine called the molecular assembler, I can manifest anything into physical reality by using nanotechnology to program atoms to take on a specific form and function. So it's really advanced technology, and I was trying to explain this technology to her, and to someone who doesn't know what technology is. Okay? And the closest way I could describe it to her is, I have tools that have the power of God. Okay? And she understood this, what I was telling her, as the technology was God. Okay? And she was amazed. And she wanted to do what I wanted to do, which was share this technology with the people of that time. And I explained to her that if we did that, that it would cause all these billions of people in the future to never be born in the first place. That it would disrupt the space-time continuum. And so she decided, it was important that our son be conceived. Okay? And so we used the technology aboard the spaceship to basically put her egg, my sperm, together and genetically engineer the baby to be a boy. And then the fertilized egg was placed back inside her womb, and she became pregnant. Okay? And it was used through it was used in a procedure that was really advanced with the technology we were using. Okay? The computer itself did all the work. And to her, it was like she was being impregnated by God, because to her this technology has the power of God, and so therefore it must be a God. But that's, her time. That's what she thought at the time. So we had done it. We had conceived our Jesus, and we started discussing Jesus Christ further. And I decided that it was time to tell her that Jesus Christ was murdered on the cross, and that the whole event, would go on to be remembered for hundreds of years. Okay? And that it would change the world forever. Okay? And then I told her I came to prevent Jesus from being crucified and murdered. And so I suggested to her, why don't we just stay in outer space and raise Jesus together in outer space, so he'll never set foot on Earth and no one can ever murder him. And her argument was, what kind of life is it to just live in outer space that would be robbing Jesus Christ of his life, of what made him him, of what he went through, of what his destiny was. And of course, she didn't want to see him murdered on the cross, and I didn't want to see him murdered on the cross. But ultimately, her and I both decided that it would be best to allow Jesus Christ to be born on planet Earth and for him to have his time. Because we use technology to look into the future on planet Earth and see what would happen if we didn't bring Jesus back to Earth to be born on Earth. So we looked at a future reality where there was no Jesus, and it resulted in none of us alive today being born in the first place. First of all, I was never born. No one on this planet who was alive today was ever born. There's a whole different group of people. And in this other world, this world that Jesus Christ never came to, that we were never born in, all life went extinct on the planet. Okay? And we realized it would be selfish of us to rob Jesus, not only rob Jesus Christ of his life on earth, but it would be selfish of us to rob the planet Earth of Jesus Christ's existence. So we decided to go back to planet Earth, okay, and we used the technology, the spaceship time machine. We used it to find the perfect guy to pretend to be her husband, okay. Now that she was pregnant, she wanted to return to the planet, and we found the guy to pretend to be her husband and to take after her and take care of her. And I just couldn't stick around. Being a white guy, you know, in that time and place, I would have stuck out like a sore thumb. Okay? And in case you didn't know, Jesus Christ's mother is not white. Okay? She actually has really dark hair. Alright? And she's not white. So, but I have strong genetics. I have strong DNA. And no matter what race the woman I have a child with is, the child's going to end up looking a lot like me and looking almost white-skinned. So, but we had agreed. Jesus deserved to be born on planet Earth. He deserved to have his life, and the planet Earth deserved to have him born on the planet. And so what we did is we decided we would let Jesus be born on Earth, and at the age of 13 I would come back to Earth and bring Jesus Christ into outer space in the spaceship time machine. And I would give him the choice of whether he wanted to return to Earth when he was 30 years old and play his part in history. So I'm going to make a video later on explaining what happened to Jesus from age 13 to 30. He spent all those years with me in outer space in this spaceship time machine, and he actually did make the choice to come back to planet Earth when he was 30 years old and play out his part on planet Earth. Okay, and I will make a, like I said, I'm gonna make another video about that later. So stay tuned to my channel if you want to see more information on what happened to Jesus Christ between the ages of 13 and 30 in outer space, in heaven with me. Okay, so there you go. That is the story in a nutshell. Okay, that is the story of how Jesus Christ's mother and I met, how we conceived Jesus without having sex, and why we decided to allow Jesus Christ to be born on planet Earth. And like I said, Jesus Christ was the one who decided on his own to come back to Earth when he was 30 years old and play out his part in history. Okay. But I will tell you this, if you've ever seen the movie Avatar, how Jesus Christ was using the same technology you see in the film Avatar. He had a clone avatar body of his body that he was piloting from outer space. So when he was murdered on the cross, that was not his natural born body that got killed. That was actually his avatar body. Okay, that was made from nanotechnology. Because in the kingdom of heaven, in the future, we have advanced nanotechnology that can produce anything we design in a computer. It can manifest into physical reality, including exact clones of people's bodies that have no souls. Okay, that we can actually project your consciousness into, so you're piloting the body like the movie Avatar. It's the exact same technology. So Jesus Christ, his natural born body didn't die on the cross that day. Okay, so he was safe in outer space when that happened. Okay, so I hope that clears the air. Now you guys can hear it directly from my mouth, the story of what happened, how I met Jesus Christ's mother, and why we decided to bring Jesus Christ into this existence. Okay, and why we allowed him to make his choice to do what happened, to do what he did, and to go along with what happened to him. Because, you know, Jesus Christ wanted to make a statement about turning the other cheek. What happens when you bite the hand that feeds you? What happens when you murder the man who came to save your life? You know, what happens? And, you know, Jesus Christ made his statement, and he made his mark on the world. And, you know, it's kind of like, what came first, the chicken or the egg? Who was born first, the Father or the Son? Well, technically, in Earth's history, Jesus was born over 1,000 years before I was born. Technically. Like I said, he was conceived in a time travel event that I was involved with. Okay? So, that is how it happened in a nutshell. Okay? And, like I said, Jesus Christ is my biological son. And I'm very proud of him. I've known him for thousands of years now, before I was ever born a human being on this planet. I've known Jesus for a very long time. Okay? And he is real. Alright? I know he's real because I'm responsible for making him real. Okay? And it all happens, science fact, through technology, advanced technology from the future. Okay? So thank you very much for watching this video. I am your friend forever, Evan Lefavor, signing out. See you next video. Bye-bye.